Dad, we need you to sign some papers. My son Derek stood in my living room like he owned it. His wife Amanda sat on my couch, laptop open, already typing. It's just a formality, he said. Transferring the house into a family trust, for tax purposes. I looked at the folder he'd set on my coffee table. Didn't touch it. What lawyer did you use? I asked. Derek smiled. Don't worry about that. We had it drawn up properly. That's when I knew. I'd called my own lawyer 3 days earlier. What Derek didn't know was that lawyer was pulling into my driveway right now. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. Derek had been planning this for 6 weeks. I knew because I'd found the initial email. Not intentionally. He'd left his laptop open at Christmas when he'd come over to check on me. Stepped out to take a call. I'd walked past, saw my address in the subject line. Property transfer timeline, it said. I didn't confront him then. Wanted to see how far he'd go. Turns out, pretty far. The trust protects everyone, Amanda said. She used her teacher voice, patient, like I was one of her third graders. If something happens to you, the house doesn't get tied up in probate. Nothing's happening to me. Of course not, Dad. Derek sat in the chair across from me. Martha's chair, the green recliner she'd worn smooth over 32 years. But you're 71. We need to think ahead. 71, and I'd replaced the roof myself last summer. 71, and I still did my own lawn, my own repairs, my own finances. 71 wasn't dead yet. Who else signs this trust? Well, you initially. Then it transfers to me as trustee. So I sign my house to you, to the family trust, that you control. Dad, I'm trying to help you. I'd heard that before, usually right before Derek asked for money. The coffee pot beeped in the kitchen. I'd set it before they arrived. Poured 3 cups, set out Martha's good china, the white cups with blue trim she'd picked at an estate sale in 1989. Cream and sugar in the center of the table. Let's have coffee while we discuss this. Amanda checked her watch. We really need to get this signed today, Howard. We have an appointment at 2. Then I suggest you reschedule. Derek's jaw tightened. I saw it. Same tell he'd had since he was 8 years old, caught lying about who broke the garage window. I picked up the folder, flipped through it. 8 pages of legal text, dense paragraphs, lots of heretofore, and party of the first part. Page 6 had a line highlighted in yellow. Grantor relinquishes all ownership rights and transfers full title to trustee. This says I give you the house. The trust, Dad, it's still yours. You just don't technically own it. So I don't own my own house. You live here, nothing changes. Except I don't own it. Amanda closed her laptop. Howard, Derek and I have spent considerable time researching this. The property's assessed at $340,000. That's significant equity sitting idle. Sitting idle, like my house was a lazy employee. We could optimize this, she continued. Reverse mortgage, home equity line. Several options that would benefit everyone. There it was, the truth under the trust language. They wanted to borrow against my house. You're underwater on your mortgage, I said. Not a question. Derek's face flushed. That's not... How did you... You refinanced 18 months ago. Cash out refi, $85,000. What happened to that money? Silence. Amanda stared at her laptop screen. Amanda's student loans, Derek finally said. I thought those were paid off. I gave you $23,000 3 years ago specifically for her loans. We used that for the kitchen I'd never been invited to see. The house I'd visited exactly 4 times in 7 years, twice for birthdays, once for Thanksgiving, once when their furnace died and Derek needed $3,200 that same day. I set the folder back on the coffee table, didn't sign anything. I need to think about this. Dad, the lawyer's waiting. We need your signature today. What lawyer? Amanda's face went careful. The one who drafted the trust. Name? Does it matter? If I'm signing my house away, yeah, it matters. Derek stood up, paced to the window. Mitchell and Associates, they're in Riverside. I'd practiced law for 33 years before I retired. Knew every firm in Riverside. Mitchell and Associates didn't exist. You're lying. Jesus Christ, Dad. Who actually drafted this? Amanda opened her laptop again, typed something. We used LegalZoom. It's perfectly legitimate. They'd used an online template to steal my house. The doorbell rang. Derek looked at me. You expecting someone? My lawyer. I watched his face go white. Actually white. Color draining like water from a tub. You called a lawyer? 3 days ago. I opened the door. Martin Fisher stood there, briefcase in hand, 73 years old and sharp as the day I'd worked with him on the Henderson estate case in 1997. We'd stayed friends. Played chess every Thursday. Howard, Derek, Amanda. Martin nodded at each of us. Professional. Courteous. He set his briefcase on my coffee table, right next to their folder. I understand there's a property transfer being proposed. Derek found his voice. This is a family matter. Any document transferring real property worth $340,000 is a legal matter. Martin opened his briefcase, pulled out a thicker folder. I took the liberty of reviewing the property records. Howard, you purchased this home in April 1983 for $67,000. Paid off the mortgage in 1998. No liens, no encumbrances. Clean title in your name alone. That's why we're creating the trust, Amanda said. Her voice had lost the teacher patience. Now she sounded defensive. I've reviewed your proposed trust document. Martin put on his reading glasses. You emailed it to Howard last week. He forwarded it to me. Derek's head snapped toward me. You forwarded. Page 6, section 12, Martin continued. The grantor, that's Howard, relinquishes all ownership and control to the trustee. That's you, Derek. With immediate effect upon signing. No revocation clause. No grantor retention of life estate. This isn't a trust. It's a transfer of title with no consideration. It's for estate planning. It's fraud. The word hung in my living room like smoke. Amanda closed her laptop. We should go. Excellent idea, Martin said. But leave the document. I'll need it for Howard's file. That's our copy. Leave it. Derek grabbed the folder. His hand shook. This is bullshit. We're trying to help him. By taking his house, it's for the family. Derek, I kept my voice level. Calm. Get out. Dad, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're underwater on your mortgage. You need money. You thought you could trick me into signing over my house so you could borrow against it. That's not. Get out. They left. Amanda first, walking fast, laptop clutched to her chest. Derek paused at the door. You'll regret this. I doubt it. The door closed. I heard their car start. Gravel crunching as they backed out of my driveway too fast. Martin poured himself coffee. You okay? Yeah. You want to press charges? I thought about it, sat down in my chair, not Martha's, mine, and drank my coffee. Not yet. They'll try again. I know. Martin stayed for an hour. We updated my will, added a power of attorney, naming my daughter Susan, not Derek. Created an actual trust, one that protected me, not them. By the time he left, my house was locked down tighter than Fort Knox. I sat at my kitchen table that night and did something I'd been avoiding for 2 years. I counted, not just the house, everything. My banking app glowed in the dark. I scrolled back. Months became years. $3,200 on January 14th, 2022. Furnace repair. Derek had texted, Emergency Dad, it's 20 degrees. Kids are freezing. Tada $800 on March 3rd. Car payment. Just this once, we're catching up. $950 on April 22nd. Utilities. They're threatening shutoff. $2,400 on June 8th. Transmission. Can't get to work without the car. Every month. Sometimes twice a month. For 7 years. I made a spreadsheet. Typed in every transfer. Every emergency. Every just this once. $127,000. Not counting the $23,000 for Amanda's student loans that went to a kitchen remodel I never saw. Not counting the $15,000 I'd given them for the down payment on their house. Not counting the $8,000 for their wedding. Not counting the weekly $200 grocery help that added up to $10,400 a year, $183,400 in 7 years. And I'd visited their house 4 times. Derek called the next morning. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. "Dad, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Call me back. We need to talk about this." No apology, no acknowledgement. Just irritation that I disrupted his plan. He called again at lunch, again at dinner. 6 calls total. I deleted each voicemail without listening. Amanda texted at 9 p.m. "Howard, we're worried about you. Are you okay?" I stared at that text for 10 minutes. They weren't worried about me yesterday when they'd tried to steal my house, but now that their plan had failed, suddenly they were concerned. I didn't respond. Susan called on Wednesday. My daughter, 3 years younger than Derek, lived in Portland with her husband and 2 teenagers. "Dad, Derek says you're having some kind of breakdown." "I'm fine. He said you accused him of fraud, that you called a lawyer." "I did." "Dad, did he tell you why?" Silence. Then, "He said you're confused, that he was trying to help you with estate planning and you got paranoid. He tried to trick me into signing over my house using a fake trust document he printed off LegalZoom." More silence. "Are you serious? Martin Fisher has the document. You want me to have him send you a copy?" "Jesus Christ." "Yeah." Susan came down that weekend, drove 6 hours, brought her husband Tom. They sat at my kitchen table and I showed them everything. The original email Derek had left open, the fake trust document, the transfer history from my bank. $183,000? Susan's voice went high. "In 7 years?" "Not counting the wedding and down payment." Tom scrolled through my spreadsheet. "He told us you were helping them get established. A couple hundred a month. Try a couple thousand. And now he wants the house?" Wanted, past tense. Susan sat back in her chair. Martha's old chair at the kitchen table, the one with the cushion she'd sewn in 1991. I didn't know it was this bad. Neither did I until I counted. "What are you going to do?" "Already did it. Updated my will. New power of attorney. Real trust that protects the house. Martin says it's bulletproof. Derek's going to lose his mind. Derek's going to figure out how to pay his own mortgage." They stayed until Sunday. Tom fixed my back fence. Didn't ask, just saw it needed work, and did it. Susan cleaned out my gutters and made me enough freezer meals for a month. Neither of them asked for money. Neither of them had ever asked for money. I'd given Susan $5,000 when her oldest started college. She'd tried to refuse it. Finally accepted it as a loan. Paid me back in 18 months. The difference was staggering. Derek showed up Monday morning. I watched through the window as his truck pulled in. Didn't open the door. He knocked. Waited. Knocked again. "Dad, I know you're home. I can see your truck." I opened the door 6 inches. Didn't invite him in. "What?" "We need to talk." "No, we don't." "Dad, I'm your son. My son tried to steal my house." "That's not what happened. That's exactly what happened. You brought a fraudulent document and tried to pressure me into signing it. It wasn't fraud. It was estate planning. Martin Fisher called it fraud. So did the state bar ethics hotline when he reported it." Derek's face went pale again. "You reported me to the bar?" "Martin did. Required to. Unauthorized practice of law." "I wasn't practicing law. You drafted a legal document to transfer real property. That's practicing law. You're not a lawyer." "Jesus Christ, Dad, I'm trying to help you." "By taking my house. By protecting your assets. My assets don't need protection from me. They need protection from you." Derek's jaw clenched. "That tell again. You're being unreasonable." "I'm being careful. Susan got to you. She's always been jealous. Susan paid back the $5,000 I loaned her for college. You've taken $183,000 and never once said thank you." "I didn't take anything. You offered. I helped in emergencies. You turned it into a subscription service." "We have kids, Dad. Expenses. You don't understand. I raised 2 kids on a teacher's salary while your mother was in nursing school. Never once did I ask my father for my mortgage payment. Times are different now. Times aren't different. You're just entitled. I watched that land. Saw his face flush red. Fuck you. He said it quiet, almost conversational. Get off my property. This is my inheritance. This is my house. You have no inheritance until I'm dead. And the way I've structured my estate, you're getting 25% of whatever's left after the funeral expenses. 25%? What about Susan gets 75%? She's earned it. That's not fair. Life's not fair, Derek. You taught me that when you tried to steal from me. He stood there on my porch, fists clenched, face red. For a second, I thought he might swing. Part of me hoped he would. Give me a reason to call the cops. He didn't swing. He left. Spun gravel again pulling out. Left tire tracks in my lawn. I called Martin. He knows about the bar complaint. Good. Maybe it'll scare him straight. I doubt it. You want a restraining order? Not yet, but keep that option ready. Amanda texted that night. You're destroying this family. I stared at that text for a long time. Then I blocked her number. Blocked Derek's too. Susan called Tuesday. Derek's on Facebook saying you've cut him off without cause, that you're having cognitive problems. Let him talk. Dad, he's telling people you're incompetent, that someone needs to file for guardianship. That got my attention. Guardianship. He's claiming you're not capable of managing your finances, that you're being manipulated by your lawyer. I'd seen this before in my law practice. Adult children trying to take control of aging parents' assets. Usually it was legitimate, dementia, Alzheimer's, genuine incapacity. Sometimes it wasn't. This wasn't. Make me an appointment with Dr. Patterson. Your doctor? I need a cognitive evaluation. Full neurological workup. I want it documented that I'm competent. Susan was quiet for a moment. You really think he'd try that? He tried to steal my house. Yeah, I think he'd try that. Dr. Patterson fit me in Thursday. Full examination, memory tests, problem solving, clock drawing, mini mental state exam, perfect score. Howard, you're sharper than half the 50-year-olds I see. Dr. Patterson signed the evaluation form. Cognitively, you're fine. Physically, you're in excellent shape for 71. I'll put all this in your file. I need copies. Notarized. He studied me over his glasses. Someone challenging your competency? My son. The one who never visits? Even my doctor knew. That's the one. I'll have my assistant notarize 3 copies. 1 for you, 1 for your lawyer, 1 for your file. I sent Derek a certified letter Friday. Single page. Martin drafted it. Derek, I am in full possession of my mental faculties, as documented by a comprehensive cognitive evaluation completed by my physician on October 26, 2023. Any attempt to challenge my competency or file for guardianship will be met with legal action for elder abuse and fraud. Your access to my property and finances is permanently revoked. Do not contact me again. Howard Mitchell. Used my full name. Made it formal. The letter came back Monday. Refused delivery. Martin sent it again via sheriff's service. Can't refuse that. Derek called from an unknown number Tuesday night. I answered before I realized. You had the sheriff serve me? At my job? You refused certified mail. My boss saw the deputy. Then you should have accepted the letter at home. Dad, this is insane. You're acting crazy. I have a notarized cognitive evaluation saying otherwise. Silence. You what? Dr. Patterson examined me Thursday. Perfect score. The evaluation's filed with the court and with Adult Protective Services. If you try to claim I'm incompetent, they'll know you're lying. I wasn't going to. Yes, you were. Susan told me about the Facebook posts. I'm worried about you. You're worried about your inheritance. There's a difference. What inheritance? You're giving everything to Susan. I'm giving 75% to Susan. You'll get 25% and be grateful. That's final. And if you contest the will, you get nothing. There's a clause. Martin had insisted on that. No contest clause. Challenge the will. Forfeit your share. You can't do this. I already did. It's filed. Recorded. Done. I'm your son. You tried to steal from me. That ends the conversation. I hung up. Blocked that number too. Thanksgiving came. Susan invited me to Portland. I drove up Wednesday, stayed through Sunday. Her kids, my grandkids, 16 and 14, actually wanted to spend time with me. No phones at dinner, real conversations. They asked about their grandmother, about my work, about the old house. Derek sent a text, Thanksgiving. Morning. Must have used Amanda's phone. Hope you're happy. Kids are crying because Grandpa won't see them. His kids were 5 and 3. They weren't crying about me. They didn't know me well enough to cry. I'd seen them 8 times in 5 years, 4 Christmases, 3 birthdays, 1 emergency babysit when Amanda's mother fell and broke her hip. Every visit, Derek had asked for money before I left. I didn't respond to the text. Susan saw it. I'd shown her. He's using the kids as leverage. The kids don't care. They barely know me. You want to see them? I thought about it. Not like this. Not as a negotiation. So what do you want? Peace, and for Derek to figure out his own finances. Christmas, I stayed home. Susan offered to come down, but I told her to stay with her kids. Tom's parents were visiting. Big family thing. I was fine alone. Made Martha's turkey recipe, the one with sage and apple stuffing. Watched the game. Called Susan around 2. Everything was good. Derek showed up at 4. I saw his truck through the window. Watched him get out, walk up my steps with a wrapped box. Didn't open the door. He knocked. Dad, it's Christmas. Can we talk? No. I have a present for you. Leave it on the porch. Dad, please. The kids miss you. The kids don't know me. That's not true. 8 visits in 5 years, Derek. You used me as a bank, not a grandfather. I'm trying to apologize. Then apologize. Right there. I'm listening. Through the door, I heard him breathe. Slow. Measured. I'm sorry I upset you. Not sorry for what he did. Sorry he upset me. Not good enough. Dad! You tried to steal my house. You lied about it. You called me incompetent on Facebook. You had Amanda text me that the kids were crying. None of that was an accident. None of that was a misunderstanding. You wanted my house, and you didn't care how you got it. I don't care what you needed. You don't steal from family. I wasn't stealing. Yes, you were. And we're done. Leave the present. Leave my property. Don't come back. You're really doing this? On Christmas? You tried to defraud me. I'm doing this every day. He left the present. A shirt box wrapped in red paper with gold ribbon. I waited until his truck disappeared, then brought it inside. Opened it. $500 Visa gift card and a note. For groceries and expenses, love, Derek. He was still trying to position himself as the generous son. $500 after taking $183,000. I put the card in an envelope addressed to Susan. Wrote a note. From Derek. Use it for the kids' college fund. New Year's came. I made black-eyed peas and cornbread. Martha's tradition for luck. Watched the ball drop alone. Phone rang at 12:15 a.m. Unknown number. I answered. Probably shouldn't have. Dad, it's me. Derek. Drunk. I could hear it in his voice. Happy New Year. We're losing the house. I didn't say anything. Bank's starting. Foreclosure. We're 4 months behind. That's not my problem. Dad, please. I know I fucked up, but the kids. Stop using your kids. You got yourself into this. Get yourself out. I can't. We need $8,000 to catch up. Then we can refinance. No. Dad, you tried to steal my house to cover your mortgage. Now you want me to give you cash to save yours. The answer is no. They'll evict us. Then you'll find somewhere else to live. With what money? Figure it out. You're 50 years old. I'm not your retirement plan. I'm your son. My son committed fraud. My son lied. My son tried to take my home. That son gets nothing. I hung up. He called back 6 times. I didn't answer. Amanda texted from a different number. Must have borrowed someone's phone. You're letting your grandchildren become homeless. What kind of man are you? The kind who raised his kids to pay their own bills. The kind who didn't enable financial incompetence. The kind who knew that $8,000 now would become $8,000 every 4 months forever. I blocked that number too. February, Martin called. Derek's filed a complaint with Adult Protective Services. Saying what? That you're isolated, paranoid, refusing contact with family, that you're being unduly influenced by your lawyer, that's me, and your daughter Susan. I have the cognitive eval. I know. I sent them a copy, along with the fake trust document, the certified letter, and a timeline of Derek's attempts to access your assets. What happens now? APS will investigate. They'll probably want to interview you. When? Soon. The caseworker came on a Thursday. Woman about 45, kind eyes, professional demeanor. Her name was Patricia Simmons. She sat at my kitchen table. Same table where Derek had tried to get me to sign the trust papers. Mr. Mitchell, I'm here because we received a report of concern about your welfare. From my son Derek. I can't confirm the source. It's Derek. He filed for guardianship. When that failed, he tried this. She opened a folder. Tell me about your living situation. I own this house. Bought it in 1983. Paid off. No debt. I live alone. My wife Martha died 3 years ago. Cancer. I'm sorry. Thank you. Do you have family nearby? Derek lives 10 miles away. My daughter Susan lives in Portland. She visits regularly. Derek used to visit when he needed money. Patricia wrote something. Tell me about that. I showed her the spreadsheet. $183,000 over 7 years. The fake trust document. The certified letter. The cognitive evaluation. She read everything carefully. Mr. Mitchell, has Derek threatened you? Not physically, but yes. He tried to steal my house. He called me incompetent on social media. He's using his children as leverage. Have you had any contact with your grandchildren? Derek's kids? Minimal. 8 visits in 5 years. He used me as a bank, not a grandfather. Do you want contact? With them? I thought about that. Honest question deserved an honest answer. Not under these circumstances. Not as a negotiation. If Derek wants a relationship, he can apologize sincerely and accept that I'm not financing his lifestyle anymore. Patricia closed her folder. Mr. Mitchell, I've reviewed your medical records, your cognitive evaluation, and your financial documentation. You're clearly competent and managing your affairs appropriately. I'm closing this case as unfounded. What happens to Derek? I can't discuss that, but filing a false report has consequences. She left. I felt vindicated and tired. Susan called that night. APS came? Yeah, case closed. Unfounded. Thank God. Derek's not going to stop. What else can he do? I don't know, but men who try to steal $340,000 don't usually give up after one attempt. I was right. March, my truck got keyed. Deep gouges down both sides. The word thief scraped into the driver's door. I filed a police report. No proof it was Derek, but I knew. April, someone called the fire marshal claiming my house was a safety hazard. Hoarding, they said. Unsafe electrical. The inspector came. Took one look around. Sir, your house is cleaner than mine. Who called this in? My son. He wrote something in his report. False reports waste city resources. I know. You want to press charges? Add it to the pile. May, the bank called. Someone had tried to add themselves as a joint account holder. Claimed they were my power of attorney. Did you authorize this? The bank manager asked. No. My power of attorney is my daughter Susan. She lives in Portland. The person who came in was male, about 50. Said his name was Derek Mitchell. That's my son. He's not authorized to access my accounts. We denied the request and flagged your account, but you should file a police report. 3rd police report in 3 months. The detective assigned to my case was a woman named Martinez, late 30s, sharp, no nonsense. Mr. Mitchell, you're documenting a pattern of harassment. I'm aware. Your son attempted fraud in January, vandalized your vehicle in March, filed a false fire report in April, and attempted identity theft in May. That's correct. Why haven't you filed for a restraining order? I've been documenting first. Building a case. She studied me. You used to practice law? 33 years. That explains the meticulous records. She closed her folder. You have enough for a restraining order. Probably enough for criminal charges. I want the restraining order. Hold off on charges unless he violates it. You're giving him another chance? I'm giving him a clear line. Cross it, and he goes to jail. Martin filed the restraining order that week. Derek was served at his home. 500-foot minimum distance. No contact, direct or indirect. It held for 3 weeks. June. Derek showed up at my bank. I was inside making a deposit. Saw him through the window, sitting in his truck in the parking lot. I called 911. There's a man violating a restraining order. He's in the parking lot of First National Bank. The dispatcher asked for details. I gave them. 5 minutes later, 2 patrol cars arrived. I watched through the window as they arrested him. Handcuffs, back seat, the whole thing. Detective Martinez called me that afternoon. He's being charged with violation of a protective order. Minimum $500 fine, possible jail time. What'd he say? That he was waiting for his wife. She was shopping across the street. Was she? Yes. But he saw your truck and stayed anyway. That's a violation. Derek spent 1 night in jail. Made bail the next morning. $2,500. The court date was set for July. Susan drove down for it. Sat with me in the courtroom. Derek sat on the other side with Amanda and a public defender. The judge was a woman about 60, Judge Patricia Coleman. I'd worked with her when she was a prosecutor 20 years ago. She reviewed the file, looked at Derek. Mr. Mitchell, you violated a restraining order 4 days after it was issued. Your Honor, I didn't see him. You were parked outside his bank, in a small lot. You saw his vehicle and stayed anyway. I was waiting for my wife. That's not a defense. The order prohibits you from being within 500 feet of the petitioner. You were 30 feet away. The public defender tried, made arguments about accidental proximity, no hostile intent, family relationships deserving leniency. Judge Coleman wasn't buying it. Mr. Mitchell, I've read the background. You attempted to defraud your father of his home. You filed false reports with APS and the fire marshal. You attempted identity theft at his bank. You vandalized his vehicle. This restraining order exists because you've demonstrated a pattern of financial abuse and harassment. Your Honor, he's my father, which makes this worse, not better. $1,000 fine. 30 days suspended sentence. Violate the order again, and you serve the 30 days. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. The restraining order is extended to 3 years. Court is adjourned. Derek left without looking at me. Amanda's face was furious. She mouthed something at Susan. Couldn't hear it, but I could read lips. This is your fault. We left through the back exit. Martin's suggestion. You okay? Susan asked in the parking lot. Yeah. He looked like he wanted to kill someone. Probably me. Dad, it's fine. He won't violate the order again. 30 days in jail would cost him his job. We had lunch at the diner Martha and I used to go to. The one with the good pie and the waitress who remembered everyone's order. Susan picked at her sandwich. You think this is over? I think Derek's options are limited now. He can't contact me, can't come near me, can't access my accounts. Either he figures his life out or he doesn't. What about the kids? What? About them? You really don't want to see them? I set down my coffee. Susan, those kids are 5 and 3. They don't know me. Every visit was Derek asking for money with children in the room. That's not a relationship. That's leverage. They're still your grandchildren. And if Derek ever gets his act together and apologizes sincerely, maybe I'll meet them properly. But I'm not negotiating a relationship through a man who tried to steal from me. Susan nodded. Didn't push it. We finished lunch. She drove back to Portland. I went home to my clean, quiet, paid-off house. August, Derek lost his house. I heard about it from Barbara, my neighbor. She saw the foreclosure notice on their door. "Your son's house has a bank notice," she told me over coffee. "One of those orange papers." "I know. You knew. He called me New Year's, said they were 4 months behind. You didn't help?" I told her the whole story, the fake trust, the harassment, the restraining order. Barbara set down her cup. "Jesus, Howard." "Yeah. Where'd they move?" "Don't know, don't care." That sounded harsh even to me, but it was true. September, my 72nd birthday. Susan called, sent a card with a gift certificate to the hardware store. Her kids called, sang happy birthday off key. Made me smile. Derek didn't call. I didn't expect him to. October, 1 year since the fake trust document. I sat at my kitchen table with a cup of coffee and thought about what I'd lost and what I'd kept. Lost, a relationship with my son, whatever that had been. Access to my grandchildren, limited as it was. Kept, my house, my savings, my dignity, my peace. The math worked out. Martin called that afternoon. "Howard, I wanted to update you. The bar investigation into Derek's legal document concluded. And he's been referred to the district attorney for unauthorized practice of law. It's a misdemeanor, but it's on record." "Good. There's something else. Amanda filed for divorce." That surprised me. "When?" "Last week. Irreconcilable differences. She's asking for full custody and child support." "He tell you this?" "No, public record. I was checking to make sure the restraining order was still active." "It is? 3 more years." Derek's life was falling apart. House gone, wife leaving, criminal record starting, job probably shaky after the sheriff served him at work. I felt what I expected to feel. Nothing. No satisfaction, no sympathy. Just nothing. He'd done this to himself. November, Susan's oldest, my granddaughter Emily, got early acceptance to college. Full ride scholarship, 4 years paid. I sent her $5,000 with a note. "For books and expenses, your grandmother would be proud." Susan called crying. "Dad, you didn't have to." "I wanted to. Emily earned it." "Thank you." "She coming down for Christmas?" "We all are, if that's okay." "I'd like that." Susan's family came down December 23rd. Stayed through the 26th. We cooked together, played board games, watched terrible movies. Tom fixed my dripping shower. Emily taught me how to use the new phone Susan had given me. Christmas morning, Susan handed me an envelope. "What's this?" "Open it." Inside was a check, $5,000. The exact amount I'd given Derek for his down payment 7 years ago. The same amount I'd loaned Susan for college that she'd paid back. "Susan, you gave Emily $5,000. I want to pay it forward, for the house fund." "What house fund?" "Your house. When you're gone, and that better not be for 20 more years, I'm keeping it, not selling it. Tom and I are retiring here. This house stays in the family." I felt something crack in my chest. Good crack. Relief. "Your grandmother would like that." "I know." Christmas afternoon, my phone buzzed. Unknown number, text message. "Dad, I know you won't answer, but I need you to know I'm sorry. Really sorry. I was wrong. Amanda's gone. Kids are with her. I'm living in a studio apartment working 2 jobs to make child support. I lost everything. I know that's my fault. I know you won't believe me, but I'm sorry. Derek." I showed Susan. "You going to respond?" "Should I?" "That depends. Do you believe him?" I read the text again. Really read it. "I believe he's sorry he lost everything. I don't believe he's sorry he tried to take mine. So? So no, not yet. Maybe someday, but not yet." I deleted the text. We finished Christmas. Susan's family left the 26th. Hugs all around. Promises to visit more often. I stood on my porch and watched them drive away. Then I went inside my house, my paid-off, protected, safe house, and sat in my chair. Martha's picture on the mantel. Same smile she'd had for 43 years. "We did good," I told her. House is staying in the family. Susan's keeping it. The house was quiet, warm, mine. I'd spent $183,400 on a son who tried to steal from me. Lost access to 2 grandchildren I barely knew. Spent a year documenting harassment and fighting off fraud. And I'd do it all again. Because some things aren't for sale. Not my dignity, not my home, not my peace. Derek had tried to take all 3. He'd failed. I was 72 years old. I'd buried my wife, survived my son's betrayal, protected what was mine, and I was fine. New Year's came. I made black-eyed peas and cornbread, watched the ball drop. Phone stayed quiet. At 12:01 a.m., I raised my glass to Martha's picture. To another year in our house. The house was silent, but I swear I heard her laugh. February, Derek's divorce was finalized. I know because the decree came to my address by mistake. They had his old address on file. I forwarded it to his new address without opening it. March, I got a letter from Amanda. Not a text. An actual letter. Handwritten. Howard, I owe you an apology. I supported Derek's plan with the house. I thought we were doing the right thing. I was wrong. I've spent the last 6 months in therapy, understanding how we justified financial abuse. You didn't deserve that. Neither did your grandchildren, who lost a grandfather because we were greedy. I'm not asking for anything. Just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Amanda. I read it twice. Felt different than Derek's text. More specific. Acknowledged what they'd done, not just the consequences. I wrote back. 3 lines. Amanda, I appreciate your apology. I hope you and the children are well. If Derek ever offers a real apology, not just regret about consequences, I'll consider it. Howard. Mailed it the next day. April, Susan called. Emily wants to know if she can intern with Martin this summer. Law firm experience. She thinking about law school? Maybe. She wants to see what it's like. I'll ask Martin. Martin hired her. Paid internship. 12 weeks. Emily drove down in June. Stayed in the guest room. Same room Susan had grown up in. She worked at Martin's firm during the day. Evenings, we'd sit on the porch and she'd tell me about contracts and depositions and filing systems. Grandpa, Martin says you are one of the best real estate lawyers in the county. Martin's generous. He showed me the Henderson case, said you saved that family's farm. That was a long time ago. Still, pretty cool. We didn't talk about Derek. She didn't ask. I didn't offer. August, my 73rd birthday. Susan's whole family came down. Even Emily, on her day off from the internship. We had dinner on the back patio. Steaks on the grill Tom had fixed up. Corn on the cob. Martha's potato salad recipe that Susan had perfected. Emily handed me a card. Inside was a photo. Her in Martin's office, sitting at a desk, surrounded by law books. That's my desk for the summer. Martin says if I get into law school, I can work there during breaks. You applying? Yeah, 3 schools. Martin's writing a recommendation. I felt that crack in my chest again. Pride mixed with grief. Martha should have been here for this. Your grandmother would be proud. I know. Mom tells me all the time. We finished dinner. Cleared the table together. Everyone helped. No one asked for money. No one tried to manipulate. No one saw me as an ATM. Just family. The way it should have been all along. September, I got another text from Derek. Different number. Dad, I'm in AA, 4 months sober, working the steps. Part of that is making amends. I want to make things right. Can we talk? I showed Susan. 4 months is a start, she said. But amends aren't just words. I know. What are you going to do? Wait. If he's serious, 4 months becomes 8 months becomes a year. If he's not, the texts stop. I didn't respond. October, Derek texted again. Dad, 6 months sober. I have a sponsor. Been working 2 jobs. Caught up on child support. Seeing the kids on weekends. I know I destroyed your trust, but I'm trying to be better. I don't want money. I don't want the house. I just want you to know I'm trying. That text felt different. No asks, no excuses, just information. I responded, I'm glad you're sober. Keep going. 3 words. But I meant them. November, Amanda called. First time in 2 years. Howard, I wanted to let you know Derek's been doing really well. He's working hard, seeing the kids regularly, going to meetings. That's good. The kids ask about you sometimes. What do you tell them? That you're their grandfather and you love them, but grown-ups made mistakes that hurt people. That's fair. Derek wants to bring them by for Thanksgiving, just a short visit. No pressure. You can say no. I thought about it. 2 years since Derek had tried to steal my house. 6 months of sobriety, regular child support, seeing his kids. Thanksgiving's at Susan's this year. I'm driving up Wednesday. Okay, maybe another time. Amanda, if Derek stays sober another 6 months, we can talk about a supervised visit. Brief, maybe an hour. Here, at my house. Really? If he stays sober, if he continues paying child support, if he respects the boundaries. He will. I know he will. Then we'll see. Thanksgiving at Susan's was good. Portland was cold, but clear. Tom deep-fried a turkey in the garage. Emily brought her boyfriend, a quiet engineering major from her school. Friday morning, Susan and I sat in her kitchen, just the 2 of us. You're really thinking about letting Derek see you? If he stays clean, if he proves he's serious. What if he's not? Then the restraining order stays in place, and he gets nothing when I die. You changed your will again? Last month. If Derek maintains sobriety for 1 year and respects all boundaries, his share goes back to 40%. If he relapses or violates the restraining order, he gets nothing. Incentive plan. Consequence plan. Susan poured more coffee. You think he can do it? I don't know, but I'm giving him the chance to try. December. Derek texted. 8 months sober. Kids in school sent their report cards to my apartment, both doing great. I'm coaching my son's soccer team. First time I've been consistent with anything in years. I responded, proud of you. Keep going. Christmas, I stayed home. Susan asked if I wanted to come to Portland, but I told her I'd see them New Year's. Christmas afternoon, a package arrived. No return address. Inside was a framed photo of Derek's kids, both in soccer uniforms, big smiles. A note underneath. Dad, the kids made these cards for you. They don't know the full story, just that we're working on being better. If you're ever ready, we'd like to see you. No pressure. Derek. 2 handmade cards. Crayon drawing. To Grandpa in wobbly letters. I put the photo on the mantel, next to Martha's picture. January, Derek hit 1 year sober. He texted, 1 year, best year of my life, even though I lost everything. Weird how that works. I called him. He answered on the first ring. Dad? 1 year is good. I'm proud of you. His voice cracked. Thank you. I meant what I told Amanda. If you want a visit, we can arrange something short. 1 hour. Here at the house. Really? Bring the kids. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock. I'll be there. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Saturday came. I cleaned the house, made cookies, Martha's recipe, set out juice boxes and milk. At 2 o'clock, Derek's car pulled up. Old Honda, not the truck he'd had before. He got out, helped both kids out of the back seat. They looked bigger than I remembered. I opened the door. Hi, Dad. Derek. We stood there, awkward. 2 years of silence between us. These are your grandkids, Mason and Olivia. Both kids looked nervous. Mason held a small wrapped box. Olivia clutched a card. Hi, I said. Gentle. They were little. This wasn't their fault. Hi, Grandpa, Mason said. I made you something. Come in. They came inside, slow, looking around. Probably didn't remember being here before. We sat at the kitchen table. Same table where Derek had tried to get me to sign away my house. Mason handed me the box. I made this at school. It's a key holder. For your keys. Wooden, painted blue. 3 hooks. Mason carved into the bottom. This is great. Thank you. Olivia handed me the card. Drawing of a house. Grandpa's house. In careful letters. I love you at the bottom. This is beautiful, Olivia. She smiled, missing front tooth. We had cookies, talked about school and soccer and what they wanted for their next birthdays. Derek mostly stayed quiet, let the kids talk. After 45 minutes, Derek stood up. We should go. Don't want to overstay. You can stay the full hour. I know, but I think this is good for today. Small steps. Okay. At the door, Derek paused. Dad, I know I destroyed everything. I know sorry doesn't fix it, but I'm going to keep trying to be better. For them, for me, and because I owe you that. Keep going to meetings. Keep paying your child support. Keep being a good father. I will. They left. I watched them drive away. Then I hung Mason's key holder by the door. Put Olivia's card on the fridge. Small steps. March, Derek called. Dad, I got a promotion. Day shift supervisor. Better pay. Better hours. That's great. And I wanted to ask, can we visit again? Kids keep asking. Yeah, same time, 2 o'clock Saturday. They came every other Saturday after that. Short visits. Always respectful. Always on time. Derek never asked for money. Never pushed boundaries. May, my 74th birthday. Susan's family came down, like always. This time, Derek asked if he could bring the kids by for 10 minutes to drop off a card. That okay? He asked. I know it's Susan's time. Susan answered before I could. It's fine, Derek. Come by around 2. He came. The kids gave me cards and a grocery store cake they'd decorated themselves. Lots of frosting. Happy birthday, Grandpa, in green icing. Derek didn't stay. Just dropped them off, then left. I'll pick them up in an hour. Susan watched him leave. He's different. Yeah. You trust him? Not completely, but I'm starting to. June. Derek asked if Mason could stay overnight. There's a father-son fishing thing at the lake, overnight trip. But he wants to know if he can stay with you the night before. Get up early from your place. That okay with Amanda? She approved it. Then yes. Mason stayed over. We watched a ball game, made popcorn. I set him up in Susan's old room. In the morning we got up at 5. I made pancakes. Derek picked him up at 6. Mason hugged me before he left. Thanks, Grandpa. First time one of them had hugged me. It felt good. July, I updated my will again. Derek's share went back to 40%. Still less than Susan's 60%, but fair given the history. Martin notarized it. You're sure about this? He's been sober 18 months. He's working. He's paying his child support. He's being a father. Yeah, I'm sure. What if he relapses? Then the clause kicks in and he gets nothing. But I don't think he will. August, Derek called. Dad, I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. Here it comes. I'm getting remarried. What? Her name's Rachel. We met at a meeting. She's been sober 3 years. We've been dating 6 months. I wanted you to know. You asking my permission? No, just didn't want you to hear it from someone else. When's the wedding? October. Small thing. Justice of the peace. Kids and a few friends. Congratulations. Thanks, Dad. And would you come to the wedding? I thought about it. Yeah, I'll come. October, I went to Derek's wedding. Courthouse. 20 people. Simple and short. Rachel seemed nice. Steady. She worked as a medical assistant. Had a daughter from a previous marriage, age 7. After the ceremony, Derek found me in the parking lot. Dad, thank you for coming. Of course. I mean it. After everything I did, Derek, you're doing better. That's what matters. I'm going to keep doing better. I promise. I know. We shook hands. Then he hugged me. Brief, but real. November, Thanksgiving at Susan's again. This time, Derek and his new family came too. Rachel brought sweet potato casserole. The kids played together, all 5 of them. Susan pulled me aside. You okay with this? Yeah, I am. He really has changed. Yeah. We watched Derek help Rachel in the kitchen, watched him play with all the kids, not just his. Mom would be proud, Susan said, of you, for giving him another chance. She'd be proud of him, for earning it. December, Christmas Eve. Derek asked if he could host Christmas breakfast at his apartment. Nothing fancy, just bagels and coffee, but I'd like everyone to come. I went. So did Susan's family. We packed into Derek's small living room. Kids everywhere, loud and chaotic and good. Derek handed me a card. Inside was a check. $500. What's this? First payment. I owe you $183,400. This is a start. Derek, you don't have to. Yeah, I do. I stole from you. I'm paying it back. $500 a month. It'll take 30 years, but I'll do it. I looked at that check. $500 from a man working 2 jobs, paying child support, supporting a new family. Keep it. Buy something for the kids. Dad, I'm serious. You don't owe me money. You owe me continued sobriety and being a good father. That's the payment. Derek's eyes filled. Thank you. You're welcome. January, 2 years sober. Derek texted a photo of his AA chip. 2 years, best 2 years of my life. I texted back, proud of you, son. February, I fell. Stupid accident. Ice on the porch, broke my wrist. Susan drove down immediately. Derek came too. They took turns staying with me for a week until I could manage on my own. Derek cleaned my gutters, fixed the loose railing, salted the whole porch. Didn't ask for money. Didn't expect anything. Just helped. March, Derek called. Dad, Rachel's pregnant. Congratulations. Thanks, we're excited. Nervous, but excited. You'll be great. I hope so. I screwed up with Mason and Olivia. I want to do better this time. You are doing better. They're good kids. Thanks to Amanda. Not me. Thanks to both of you now. September, Derek and Rachel had a daughter. They named her Martha. I cried when Derek told me. We wanted to honor Grandma, he said. Hope that's okay. It's more than okay. I went to the hospital, met Martha Rose, 6 pounds, 4 ounces. Perfect. Derek held her carefully, like she was made of glass. I'm going to do right by her, Dad. By all of them. I know you will. October, my 75th birthday. Both my kids threw me a party. Combined effort. Susan's house, 30 people, all the grandkids. Rachel's daughter teaching Olivia how to braid hair. Emily, home from law school. Tom grilling burgers. Derek found me on the porch. Dad, thank you. For what? For not giving up on me. For giving me a chance to fix things. You fixed things yourself. Only because you let me try. We stood there watching the family. My family. Loud and messy and complicated and good. Your mother would love this, I said. Yeah, she would. November. 3 years since the fake trust document. I sat at my kitchen table and thought about what I'd lost and what I'd gained. Lost. 3 years of relationship with my son and grandchildren. $183,400 that I'd never see again. Peace of mind for a while. Gained. Boundaries that held. Self-respect. A son in recovery. A growing relationship with grandchildren. A daughter who'd always been steady. A house that would stay in the family. The math still worked out. December, Christmas Eve. Everyone came to my house. First time in years I'd hosted. Susan cooked the turkey. Rachel made sides. Derek brought the kids early to help me decorate. Mason hung ornaments. Olivia arranged the nativity, both of my them arguing about where baby Jesus should go. Grandpa, tell her the baby goes in the middle. Grandpa, tell him the star goes on top first. Normal. Loud, right. We ate dinner at the big table. Had to add 2 folding tables to fit everyone. 15 people. 4 generations in the room if you counted Martha on the mantel. After dinner, Derek stood up. I want to say something. The room went quiet. 3 years ago, I tried to steal from my father. I lied. I manipulated. I used my kids as leverage. I was a drunk and a thief, and I destroyed everything. Rachel touched his hand. He kept going. Dad had every right to cut me off permanently. Instead, he gave me a chance to prove I could change. It took me a year to get sober. Another year to earn back trust. I still have a long way to go, but I'm grateful for second chances, for family that doesn't give up on you even when you deserve it. He raised his glass. To Dad, thank you. Everyone raised their glasses. To Howard, I looked around the table. My family, imperfect, messy, real. To all of us, I said, we made it through. If you liked this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.